Hi guys, Zach here, and welcome to Conquer Red Alert video. In this game I'm playing a 3v3 match on the map Arena Valley Extreme. I'm starting in the bottom left position, playing as the Soviets. And first things first, I want to expand upwards to that ore patch, and as you can see that ore patch has a lot of gems. Personally I think this is one of the best starting positions you can have for the early game because of that ore patch above your base, which just has a ton of gems around it, much more so than the other ore patches around the map. The only issue with this starting position is expanding out of it. It's very hard because you've sort of like got an ore patch above you, you've got an ore patch to the right of you, and it's sort of like very enclosed. It makes it a bit easier though in the sense that it's harder for teams to like dive in from different angles. But it's got its ups and downs, I would say. And there's the yellow infantry just running away, and we'll just stay around this point and send these infantry upwards and try and get some visibility and maybe some extra infantry kills and force the other player to go on the defensive. I'm just going to build my first war factory there, and I'm going to immediately get out 2 ore trucks. And you can see that I stopped my infantry. That's just using the hotkey S when I did that. And that's just if you run your infantry and you're not looking, they can sort of run into a bit of trouble. And we can see yellow there with the light tank. But I'm keeping my infantry up, and he's went straight for light tanks. And because because I've sent those infantry up, what it's meant is he's not been able to get those light tanks down to the bottom of the map as quickly as he would have liked. But unfortunately, by doing that infantry rush, I've sort of left my base a bit open, and we can see now that red is going for the small power plant, which is exactly what you should go for, because what that will do is it'll reduce my power, reduce my building speed, so I can't build as quickly. And now I'm going to be building an ore refinery, because I could expect that those light tanks will come down pretty soon. And there's my ally pink to the right of me, so hopefully you'll be able to block any attacks coming from that direction. And now I'm just sending these tanks up. I had a little pause in building there, which was a bit of a misplay from me. And I'm also going to be expanding to the right of my base. You can see that my ally pink, he's started using the middle part of the map. And I'm just moving around a lot to have a look at the different parts of the map, just to make sure there's no incoming attacks to my base. It's a bit annoying that I can't see as much of that bottom position of the map as I would like. And now we're having a look at the base above us, and it looks like they've got, I think they'll at least have 2 war factories, if not more, and they're starting to produce light tanks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the defensive, because what light tanks are really good for is going for buildings. We'll see how this turns out. We're going for the radar dome first, as that'll obviously allow them to see a lot of the map. And now we're going for these light tanks, and those light tanks falling apart quite easily. And I think that yellow will have hurted his economy going for the light tanks as early as he has, and he's also gone for pillboxes as well, which is also will be not so good for his economy in building up fast at the start. And we're going to go for that war factory. Let's see if we can get it down. This will be quite a big kill, and we also want to get rid of that barracks. And he's building turrets, and turrets are quite good against tanks in general. And we'll go for his construction yard, so he can't build any more buildings. But we can see red there coming into our base, and this is very bad for us. Pink is going on the defensive, but I'm going to have to defend against this. I think yellow is pretty much out of this game. So we'll have to see how many tanks we're able to destroy here. And he's going for my construction yard, as I would probably expect. At least I've got 2 war factories up, and I'm good on power for the time being. And that I should have sold that actually, because that was a bit of a waste. But I do have plenty of resources, and now it's lucky that he's getting more light tanks than actually, but I was going to say it's lucky that I've got 2 ore refineries, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold both of them. But now we see red on the retreat, and what we're going to do is we're going to try and follow him back to his base and go for a counterattack. Now, in hindsight, I do wish I might have finished off yellow a bit more, because we can see that yellow has built some barracks and he's got a lot of infantry. And the thing about all those infantry is they can do a lot of damage like at the straight time, but we can see orange coming in and red coming in with the attack now. All those red light tanks, and in a one-on-one battle, I think heavy tanks usually outperform light tanks. Like even when you've got like a few more light tanks, I don't think it makes that much difference, because we can see that those light tanks are falling apart, and I do think medium tanks are the better option when you're going for fights in the middle of the map. And now it's just a question of where's red's base, and can we get to it, and can we do some damage. And now yellow joining in as well with some of his own light tanks, and now he's bringing the infantry in, and this is looking not so good for us there, because when you have two people fighting, it gets a bit harder. And red now transitioning to those medium tanks, and those infantry can do a lot of damage when they're in those large numbers, and sometimes it's hard to move around and squash them. But we've managed to take out red's construction yard, which is going to obviously weaken his base, but my tank numbers are falling, and what I'm trying to do now is just take a little bit of the power, just to slow his building speed so he can't supply his army as quickly, so those medium tanks will take longer to build. And now we see pink coming in now to help, and he's fighting yellow, it seems. And now we'll just go up here and see. It was quite a strange place for red to have his construction yard. Maybe he was I don't know if he was trying to get closer to yellow's base, or he thought it would be an easier defensive position, because he's obviously moved it a little bit at the start. But now working with pink, and what we're trying to do now is trying to take out the ore refinery of red, which is going to make, I mean, he's still got an ore refinery left, but when you have all your ore trucks going to a single ore refinery, it makes it a lot easier. And now pink tearing through red's base. Yellow also sending his ore trucks, well, he said it, I think his ore trucks are just going to that ore patch. I was wondering what he was doing with them then, but obviously he's ran out of ore close to his base, and now he's having to do some long distance mining. But still, the fight with red, about an even number of tanks, but my tanks will be a little bit stronger, and my ore supply is still going well, because that ore patch is quite big above my base. I didn't have too many ore trucks, but now my tank numbers are starting to dwindle, and I might need to pull back. Orange is in there in the fight, and as pink tries to destroy red's base. And it looks like he only has 2 buildings left, I think. Oh no, he has another building as well, which is going to make it a bit more tricky, but they've got a large number, our enemy. And now I'm just having a look at my base, and yellow is there with his light tanks, and our allies being defeated. So yeah, it doesn't look good at all, and we can also see pink is destroyed. So it's pretty much over, because the other team have massive numbers of tanks still, and they're just going to all come for my base now. We can see yellow coming there, and red will undoubtedly be coming from the other direction. So the problem with that game was, I think it was not being able to take out yellow as quickly. I just needed to get his construction yard, but red was attacking my base, so I needed to go back and defend there. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video.